Hi, my name is Beth, and I have some skills and maybe even some gifts that I'm ready to share with the world. Not I'd like to, I'm ready to share with the world. I am a modern alchemical healer. So, what does that term mean? I mean, it could mean so many things to so many different people. And what it means to me is that I've been studying for the past 22 years um, about the physical body, the emotional body, the spiritual body. I'm a trained holistic massage therapist. And so I've spent the last 20 years literally touching people. And I was confused at first because I got so much information. I thought that I was an easily distracted massage therapist because as I'd be working on somebody's leg, I would feel an injury or have a vision of the same person breaking that leg as a child, or when I was massaging several women's bellies individually, I would feel a lost baby. I could feel trauma, I could feel joy, I could sense what's up and coming for the person. So I decided to hone those skills, and I started studying with Lori Deshar and Benjamin Fox in their Alchemical Healing mentorship. We study the human body. We study it from a perspective of acupuncture, from a perspective of how flower essences can influence the body and spirit, how essential oils can influence the body and spirit, astrology, Jungian psychology, among other things. And that's when I really started to uncover the depth of myself and the depth of my skills. And it kind of scared me at first. I didn't know what to do with it. So I've been working under the guise of a massage therapist, not a complete guise. I am a massage therapist. And I'm so much more than that. And this past year has given me the space to learn more about myself, to learn more about my behaviors and how I make excuses to not take action, how I compare myself to others, therefore judging myself and others, and how I'm honestly was living coming from a place of fear. And I've said for many years, this is a declaration that I've made, that I believe that when we distill our lives down, we can live in a place of love or in a place of fear. And I kept telling myself that I was living coming from a place of love. And that's true for a lot of things. But when it comes to myself and to putting myself out there, to making choices, I often come from a place of fear. I'm no longer scared. I've been called a witch. I've been called a psychic. I've been called a medium. I've been called a bitch. I'm probably a little bit of all of those things. I don't know. And what I really believe, trust, and am guided to do is work with other people, individuals and groups, to take each person to his or her or their next level of healing. So what does that look like? It can look so many different ways. What it has been looking like now is that I will connect with somebody over the phone or over Zoom. Honestly, I prefer the phone because, as you can probably see, first of all, I'm not tech savvy, but my eyes dart from side to side and up and down. And it's not that I'm distracted by something in the room. It's how words and thoughts come through me, how I channel. And that's what I'm doing right now. I mean, I'm guided by my intellectual mind, and I was told to just sit down and record. So I'm hoping that something comes of this. So what does a session look like? I connect with someone over the phone. When a person agrees to have a session with me, there's a contract, an energetic contract, and I am able to start tuning in sometime before the session. Now, what does that mean? Do I sit and look for information? Personally, no, I don't. I ask what is mine to see, what is mine to hear, what is mine to feel, to take that person again to the next level of healing. The healing can be physical, it can be emotional, it can be spiritual. And it's often not what a person thinks is in the forefront. For instance, and this is completely hypothetical, but somebody might make an appointment with me to work through some challenges with a spouse, a husband, a wife. And when we start the session, even though that's spoken, and even though that is what really feels like the most challenging piece, we might have to uncover some layers, peel back some layers, and it might be something from childhood. And the peeling back of layers, that's not a deep conversation necessarily, but it's more like me sitting, listening, deep listening, and seeing something from childhood, or seeing something that's actually doesn't have to do with the spouse, right? Oftentimes we project our challenges, our traumas, our fears onto the person that loves us the most, or we care about the most. It's, kind of like Psych 101. So what I have learned is that when I get information, sometimes it's just information for me to proceed in the session. And when I hear it over and over again, I'll kind of get like this annoying, repetitious voice, or sometimes a vision that just keeps coming at me. And that's when I speak it. Typically when I speak it, it strengthens the energy of that. And most oftentimes, the person that I'm having the session with resonates with what I'm saying. They vibe with me. It doesn't always happen. And that used to be a fear of mine. What if what I say isn't what the person is resonating with? I no longer have that fear, because I truly believe that when I sit and work in this capacity, that I am getting the information that the person in front of me, my client, my loved one, not needs to hear, but what will support that person. And it might not make sense right away. And I have the experience that even if it doesn't make sense right away, it might make sense later that week, a month from now. And I've had people even come back to me several months later and say, I was really pissed off when I left your space. I didn't think you were tuning in or listening or hearing what I was saying. And then I had an experience, and I remembered your words, and it all made sense. So I'm not telling you that in any way to pat myself on the back. It's not that at all. It's that I'm getting super trusting, super vulnerable, and courageous, and just ready to be out there, to connect with people, to support people, and to take you to your next level. So it's not always about the past. Sometimes it's about the present, and sometimes it's about the future. So am I a visionary? Maybe, but I don't predict things. It's different than that. It's, again, a tuning in to the person in front of me, and that's a tuning into the subconscious, the subtle body. So I feel energy stronger than many people do. I believe that we all have the ability, the capacity to feel it. And I feel it very strongly. I can tune into the unspoken much more easily many times than I can tune into what a person is saying. That's not saying I'm not listening. That's saying I'm listening in a different way and sometimes a deeper way. So I'm recalling a client who is a lovely woman and speaks very little in the sessions. And I kept seeing her weighing these two options for jobs. As far as I knew, she had a really stable, successful work environment, and I just kept seeing it. And I finally asked, or not asked, I spoke to her. I see something going on with your work, and I see two options. And I explained the options that I saw. I didn't know what I was talking about. They didn't seem much different to me. And she kind of giggled and she said, yeah, I have two interviews for two different job opportunities. So it can be that. Is that a prediction of the future? No, absolutely not. It's a reflection of what's happening, the maybe inner dialogue that is happening. Maybe a fear, maybe a concern, maybe a worry, maybe an excitement. And what do I do with that information? I speak what I'm seeing. It's kind of like I'm watching a silent movie sometimes. Sometimes I smell things, sometimes I hear things. And all that I do is I share what I hear, see, feel. I don't direct. I listen. I reflect. And often it's just that little piece of the person I'm working with being seen, being heard, that clarifies the situation, helps to make a decision maybe a little easier. Because it's not all happening inside. So, do you feel anything when we're working together? Many of my clients, yes, they feel things in their physical bodies. I've worked with people with injuries over the phone. Sometimes I love working with essential oils. Essential oils are amazing. And I have a huge box of them. And if my clients have any, I ask, bring your essential oils and I might direct you to put them on your own body. But even if the person I'm working with does not have essential oils, I use them on my own body, and that releases the energy. How does it work? You know what? There's a reason that I'm doing this work and I'm not a physician, because I don't really get the physics of it. I know it's physics. I know it's energy. I know energy comes before form. But I'm not a super linear thinker, obviously. I mean, hopefully this will have been edited by the time you get it. But I am all over the place, from all different perspectives, looking for an answer or a solution. Solution for you. I'm not here to fix you. I do not claim to fix. In fact, I've often had challenges with the word healer, because I feel like it's offering something that I might not be able to give. However, I truly believe that we each have the ability to heal ourselves. And so what I'm doing is facilitating you healing yourself. I do strongly believe that that is the work that I share.